Laughing at me? Sorry.
Man,
that's just what I got to say right now.
this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is an honest feeling right now after what we've been through. Just letting y'all hear this. Oh, and hello.
Oh, we're recording. I didn't know.
And welcome to the Parking Lot Projectionist podcast. My name is Andrew Poulter.
Oh, and I'm Raymond Gleason.
Yeah. And tonight, we just saw The Revenant.
The Revenant? You thought the Revenant? The Reverend? Or the Revenant?
I put a T on the... I did the T.
Snowpocalypse? That's what they call this movie?
Raymond!
Snowpocalypse. Yeah.
What is the Snowpocalypse about?
The Reverend is a 2015. We watching this in 2016 because it came out on Christmas Day in select theaters.
They didn't select our theater.
It's nationwide today, January 8th. Well, we saw it Thursday night, so 7th, but it's gonna be January 8th.
Still Thursday night right now.
Oh my god. Anyways, it's an adventure drama thriller.
Adventure?
That's the first one they put. I guess it got put in alphabetical order.
I would put adventure.
So you want drama thriller?
I would exchange adventure for journey.
Journey drama thriller?
With like an edgy or harsh adjective
I
before
wouldn't
journey.
even give it that. I would just say drama thriller.
Maybe put outdoors before that.
Oh yeah, it's always outdoors. This is written by Mike on IMDb.
Hey, Mike.
Frontiersman.
Oh, I thought you said the movie. I was thinking Mike wrote the movie.
No, not Mike. Like Mike on IMDb wrote this synopsis.
Okay.
Sorry, scratching my nose, y'all. Mike says, and I quote, a frontiersman named Hugh Glass.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, man.
Hugh Glass? You don't know?
Well, everybody kept calling him Glass, but I thought maybe it was just a nickname or something.
His real name's Hugh Glass.
Hugh Glass.
Hugh Glass. On a fur trading expedition.
If you say that really fast, is it supposed to like have some alternate meaning? Hughless? Like maybe hubris you're supposed to slip into or something?
I don't know. Okay, he's on a fur trading expedition in the 1820s on a quest for survival after being brutally mauled by a spoiler.
The synopsis says a spoiler?
Brutally mauled by a bear.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's in the trailer. All right. This movie stars Leonardo DiCaprio as Hugh Glass. Got Tom Hardy.
I didn't hear the glove there.
Is you ass? It's huge ass. That's what it's supposed to be.
That's his name?
Huge ass is what it's supposed to be.
I like that.
Tom Hardy, Will Poulter, Dom Hall Gleason, Forrest Goodluck. Do you really need to know the rest of these people? I don't think so. None of them really matter.
You said William Poulter already?
Yeah, I said him.
I think we're good then.
First three, the top three. That's all you need to know is the top. Well, and Don Hall Gleason, the top four, before they separate everybody. So William Poulter's on there. I like that actor. He's real good. William Poulter.
From We're the Millers.
The Millers, Chronicles of Narnia, the third one, The Maze Runner, the first one. Yeah, I'm glad to see he's getting some good stuff here. He needs some more things. And Leo's one of my favorite actors. This is directed by Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
So
It's written by Mark L. Smith. It's also a screenplay by Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, based on part of a novel by Michael Bunk.
I'm sorry.
That's
Somebody just boxed somebody on the head in the middle of that shit?
Michael Bunk. It's the wrong person, I wonder. Sorry, everybody just calm down.
No. Finish your tweet.
Oh, God. Sorry, it's my mommy.
Aw.
All right, you ready to jump into what this movie's about?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Shit, I don't remember how to start off.
We start off with a dream sequence. Leonardo DiCaprio is in a tribal village by himself.
Very blurry.
Holding a small Native American child in his hands, saying, I will be right here. I will stay right here. You are my son. Eyes up here, or something like that. With visions of a woman, presumably the young Native American boy's mother. Then there's like a pyramid of bones, more flashes of the mother, and then we go to real life. shallow river flowing through a forest. These huntsmen come out. One of them is Leonardo DiCaprio. I confess I chuckled.
I didn't chuckle. Oh, you did, because it was like two rifles walking, then you see him. I remember you did chuckle for that. Oh, this dude that did Birdman.
That makes sense with all the camera things he was doing in this movie.
He did Babel. I never saw Babel. I thought this was the other guy, the Children of Men guy.
Children of Men guy is Prisoner of Azkaban guy.
Sure, why not?
This is probably a protege.
Maybe he is a protege. All right, the hunting rivals walking around. Leonardo DiCaprio shows up. What's the matter? What's the matter?
You're in front of your mic.
Shit, Andrew. Sorry. Boss yelling at me, y'all. Anyways.
No, you're still in front of your mic.
I am. What do you want me to do?
No, like back up if you're going to speak. You be...
First, I'm too soft. Now I'm too loud. What's the matter?
No, I mean, literally, you're in front of your mic.
Switch your thing. That's what I'm supposed to be, huh? Like here?
No, I mean, your mouth needs to be like territory, like...
Like so?
No, draw a wall in front of your mic and don't go past it.
Like this?
No, like I'm holding my hand right
like
now. Like this, yes. Get behind that.
Oh, so I was too far. Like this?
Yeah.
Not like right here?
Yeah, so the mic's actually picking up more of your raw voice.
Raw. Okay.
I'm sorry to have to do that. I'm sorry.
I'm so tired, everybody. I'm so tired. This movie did not help at all. Anyways, they hunting. They shoot a
CGI moose.
Yeah, it was CGI moose. Oh my God. They shoot a CGI moose. The CGI moose falls. They scalp it. Cuts the time Hardy. Talk about some. Well, I don't think they need to be shooting it, but they're gonna track the tree N words.
He's Tom
I
Hardy.
literally did not understand his entire first sentence. It took me a while to actually hear exactly what Tom Hardy was saying throughout this movie. The first 5 minutes of the movie, I could not understand him. I had to get used to his accent.
The first time we see him, he's recreating his Mad Max pose, taking a piss off a cliff somewhere.
He's like, y'all want me to do this shot? Because this is my favorite shot to open with. He should do that in every movie from now on.
I think that is in his contract. Tom Hardy is back at a little temporary camp they set up, trying to skin all these creatures that they killed out in the wild, and they're collecting pelts to trade for money.
Leo's got his son working with him, or his quote-unquote son.
Adopted.
Think it's real he's adopted. There was not enough backstory.
They don't no, they never say the backstory of the son.
Like this woman that must have took him in. Like there's probably gonna be a prequel to this movie about the woman saving his life or something like that.
Was it a one-night stand? Was it a heavy romance that lasted a long time and he decided to leave all his people behind?
Well, the boy didn't look like he looked like he was the biological father of this boy, so I'm just assuming that he just was on another journey and got stabbed a bunch of times and whatnot, and they saved him.
And then he just saw the boy. So the people he was with maybe came in and killed all the Native Americans.
I don't know.
Okay.
Just some dudes wearing blue suits with their white straps came in, killed everybody, and burned it down. Oh, because they got to kill all savages. The white man wants to kill savages in this time period.
What is the context
Of what?
of their relationship? This is really not a biological son?
He sucked the poison out her big toe. That's what I'm gonna go with, Andrew. She got bit, he sucked the poison out. Or he got bit and she sucked the poison out the big toe. And then he decided, since you saved my life, I'm gonna take care of your son now that you dead.
And when did he decide to go back to civilization then? If he was upset with how civilization slaughtered all his brethren.
He needed money.
Oh. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Man sold out.
His whole backstory don't make sense in this movie.
Leo DiCaprio sold out, but he kept his son.
Anyways, they're sitting up there chilling. Everybody's talking about, yeah, I'm gonna play some cards when I get back. Yeah, I'm gonna buy me a yacht. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed your wife.
Yeah, they was laughing like that. All of a sudden, floop. Dude got hit in the arrow in the neck. He took an arrow to the knee. I used to be a pelt scraper, and then I took a... Never mind.
I don't think it was supposed to be funny, but the fact that these people were being jerks and then just immediately got shot and killed by an arrow
and then
gave me a chuckle. I'm sorry.
So Alejandro, what's his name, the director, decides to do his one take thing and have the camera follow. Hey, look all these dudes dying. But he cut at one point and then cut back. It was like a quick cut. They cut back to the one take shot again. Some dude fell on the ground. Leo stepped in at some point, started fighting the Native Americans.
The whole entire camp is being overrun with a bunch of Indians, in case you just thought that was just one random era.
Oh yeah, they all came out.
Huge Indian assault on the whole entire camp. Everybody's going crazy. Rifles are blasting all over the
They're
place.
Like, savages everywhere. Why are these savages killing us? I wonder why.
These savages never miss. They don't miss.
They're the opposite of stormtroopers?
It was very annoying. I didn't really notice until towards the climax of the scene, sir, but I was like, okay, are they ever going to miss an arrow shot? Like, every single arrow.
They miss Leo. They miss the main character. They don't miss the side characters.
That makes it worse that they don't miss anybody else.
They don't miss the side characters.
All these extras are getting slaughtered left and right.
Well, they have great aim, sir, because they're Native Americans.
Also, it's a little surprising that they stumbled across the whole entire camp, but at the same time, they didn't attack Leo out there in the wild because he just fired a rifle shot. You think the Indians would be attacking them first? Oh man, somebody fired a gun over here. We gotta go get Leo.
Maybe they came from the opposite direction of the camp. I don't know, Andrew. I know how this works.
Yeah, that's possible. I'll give you that. The camp was in between the gunshot and the Indians. Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming happened.
Okay, we can move on.
Okay.
Leo got briefly attacked, but he pulled through. We're the Millers, Holter, William guy, who's named James in this movie. He pulled through. Tom Hardy got attacked.
And as he was stabbing a guy, he was calling him a tree N-word.
Now, I just thought the name of the tribe was what he was saying. Is this an N-word?
You thought the name of the tribe was tree N-word?
No, I don't want to say the thing in case it actually is the N-word to Native Americans. I don't want to say it on the podcast.
No, that was a derogatory term he was just using for them besides savages.
Ree?
Huh? Oh, Ree is a...
What was Ree?
Is it a derogatory term, too,
is it short for
Native
retard
Americans.
or Rees or something?
I'm pretty sure it is a derogatory term for Native Americans. They would say the real name of the tribe was like Pomptians or something.
The Pawnees.
The Pawnees, yeah.
Or the Pawnees. Or...
The Pontais or whatever.
Why'd you put a tie in there?
The Ponties. It's
There's no T. There's no T.
There was a T in there.
It was P-A-W-N-E-E.
Somebody else was another tribe was the P-O-N-T-Es. The Ponties. The Pontays. The ponytails. Anyways.
Oh, man.
So the ponytails attack them. They get on a boat. One guy's trying to struggle to get on a boat. He gets shot with the arrow, like Andrew says. They don't miss.
They don't miss. For some reason, they don't try to shoot the people who are carrying the huge oars to try to stop the boat from taking off.
I thought one of the guys was going to at least get hit. I thought one of those guys was at least going to get hit, Andrew.
Because they did that low angle shot. I was like, oh, they're about to fall over the camera.
Somebody's about to get hit.
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
They decided not to aim for those guys. Well, if they did that, so the camera would have been damaged because later on in the movie, we established that the camera is a real thing in this real world looking at them.
That is true.
Yeah.
But spoilers.
Sure, why not?
So they escape onto the big boat, trying to make their way down river to get away from everybody. Domhnall Gleeson's with them as well. He's the captain. Tom Hardy doesn't fully respect the guy. He thinks he bought his way in because of his rich doctor father. Patch up one of the fellow people as they're sailing down the river. We cut back to their camp that was just raided. The chief of the Pontays, as Raymond calls them, is talking about, I gotta find my daughter. They don't have the daughter here. Maybe they went further up north. We gotta follow that boat. Maybe it'll lead me to my missing daughter. Pawakwa or something. Pawakwa. Or
Ponte. Pontanisha was her name.
Everybody's a derivative of Ponte.
Pontanisha. And then he said, take the pelts and we're gonna sell it to the French. They're on the boat, with General Hux. General Hux patches up the dude.
Leonardo DiCaprio tells them, hey, we can't just travel upriver. They're probably going to try and track us right now after we escaped. We should probably set the boat to go off on its own and make our way back to our fort on foot. A lot of them decide to get off the boat and to do that, but then two random people go off on the boat anyway and say, sayonara, suckers.
They were supposed to jump off. Like, they were supposed to get the boat going and they were supposed to jump off, but it was like, hell no, we ain't jumping off. I wonder if those guys ever made it back to camp. We didn't get to see where General Hux was scolding him for leaving him or anything like that.
Tom Hardy's like, man, those guys are smart, man.
Yeah, they're real smart. Yeah. That's how you talk to this movie, sorry.
They set up camp for the night, cut back to the Pontes tribe, talking to the French. Hey, I got the pelts, now give me the horses.
Don't mention the horses again, I don't want to hear that shit. He was like, we talked to you about honor. The Native American chief spoke French to the guy, played on his white guilt and was like, hey, you took everything from us.
All I want is to find my daughter.
So give me something. White guilt set in, so he gave him some horses.
Back at the camp, Tom Hardy is being a villain, picks a fight with Leonardo DiCaprio about his Native American son.
It's like, what you doing with this tree N-word? I don't like tree N-words. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Leonardo was cleaning his gun. He grabbed it, and then it was in his chest. And Leo was like, I'm on the smart end of this gun right now. General Hux was like, no, y'all need to calm the hell down. Got time for this shit. Then Leo scolded his son. He's like, don't talk. They only see your face. It's brown or red or whatever color his face was. It was burnt on one side. I know for sure he had a Harvey Two-Face thing going on because of the fire in the flashbacks.
Very strict and very concerned about his son speaking up to these, especially Tom Hardy type characters who are obviously villains and picking fights with people. And like, well, how am I going to get my money because the pelts are gone? And
So anyways, they walk some more. They make camp. Leo decides to wake up early for some strange reason and go out on his own.
tells his son, hey, I'm going to go scout ahead, find us a path for the day or whatever the fruit.
He walks out, stops for a second, sees bear cubs.
They were making strange noises like they were some sort of alien creatures. It was weird.
You thought we was watching Avatar?
I was just very distracted by the fact that
You remember that creature from Avatar?
yeah, I do.
I'm sorry, I can't do it.
You're losing your mind, man. You're losing your mind.
That's what it did, and it jumped out. Okay, you can finish this story.
I was just saying,
Okay.
you said I could finish my
I'm
story,
sorry.
and then you start making that face again. I was just about to say, this is the point I didn't know that those were cubs out there because I was too distracted by the fact that the projectionist in the booth was removing the Real D 3D filter off of the projector, and so it got brighter all of a sudden, and then he finally decided to focus our movie, which was so unbelievably out of focus, and then he just slowly, and I was like, whoa, that's razor sharp all of a sudden, and there was a woman in our audience who went, whoa. Like, it could get that sharp, man. But then I got even more distracted because, all right, this is good. It's brighter now. Now it's in focus. But then I could have sworn the screen started coming down. Like he started to lower the picture. And so now it's even further over the curtain on the bottom of the screen.
They lowered the picture before and then focused the movie, but he never turned the picture back to where it was. Whoever it was touched that knob and realized, oh, this knob's not doing anything, and then focused the movie with the other knob instead of realizing, oh my God, this knob did do something, and it moved the picture out of frame. So we watched this movie out of frame. About 10% of the movie is out of frame.
Luckily, the subtitles were barely in frame.
Yeah, luckily, because that would have been a problem.
Yeah, it's a good thing he did focus it because the first few scenes we were reading
was
these
so-
blurry
It's
subtitles.
all blurry.
Oh,
And this is a
man.
big blur. It's a tired film. It's a big blur, literally. I'm sorry.
Finally, after he was done doing all the adjustments on the projector, all of a sudden I just noticed that Leonardo DiCaprio was being attacked by a bear.
Not just any bear, Andrew, a CGI bear.
Those are the least intimidating kind.
I know, he could just like hit the delete button or something and erase that thing. But he refused to. Anyways, it did look pretty good in the close-up shots, dude.
That's what I was about to say. I've said it before. You get really close up on these CGI things, and they're incredibly detailed, and they look more realistic whenever you're closer up. But then you pull back, and they just got this, I don't know. You can just tell.
He got some gloss on him.
Yeah, something about it when you pull further away. Whenever there were close-ups on his face, you see the fur of the paw and everything. It was like, those shots look great. It's one long continuous take, too, of that bear just throwing him around and biting into his back. And
The bear bit him on the back. Let me explain something about Leo's character to you right now.
Oh.
He's immortal. I just want y'all to know that. So much shit happens to him, he does not die. Somehow, luckily, this bear decided not to bite his head or bite anything on his neck or anything like that.
He scratched his neck
He
then.
accidentally scratched his neck, and like the bear's supposed to do, okay, now.
Apparently, it did make a hole, though.
Oh, it made a hole, yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't bite down on him at any point in the head area. This bear knows what it is. Like, they refuse to kill him. There's like, we gotta have him attacked by a bear, but we can't kill him.
The bear. Obviously, the bear was defending its cubs, beats up Leo pretty bad, and then it goes away to check on the cub for a second.
And Leo decides to crawl over to his gun, load his gun up, cock it.
That bear starts charging right back at him.
It shoots the bear. That's when the bear accidentally scratches his neck. Can't breathe.
Is it bad that I laughed that he shot that bear? I was like, oh my
Shot
gosh.
that CGI bear.
You're in for it now, pal.
You know that bear went after him.
You just pissed that bear off.
Somehow he was able to pull out his knife and stab that bear.
Choo, 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 choo.
As he did that, the bear pushes him and they roll off a cliff together and the bear
Yeah,
dies.
they just happened to be right next to a cliff while he was stabbing him.
So the bear rolls on top of him.
Audience loved that. Leonardo DiCaprio rolled all the way down the hill first, and then all of a sudden you just get this huge CGI bear. Bloom, 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 bloom. Oh, land right on top of him.
It was like, ooh. So then everybody comes. What's his name? James, you say? James and
James.
Hawk was his son's name. Hawk comes.
Hawk, James, and General Hux, if you want to call him General
We're gonna
Hux.
call him General Hux.
Captain Henry.
Captain Hux. They started patching him up. It's like, oh my god, he's bleeding. Oh my god, a bear got him. They sorry. Falling. Oh, okay. He passes out. It's like, I'm gonna take this time and sew his neck up. So he starts sewing his neck up. James puts his ankle back in his place. Ah!
Meanwhile, the villains are standing over by some trees like, man, if you don't think he can make it, maybe we should just end his suffering now.
Before he passed out, he was like yelling. It was like a serious scene. It's like, oh my god, is he gonna survive? And then Tom Hardy's character just goes, if he don't shut up, they gonna come get us or something. Like, it was so funny the way it was shot. Tom Hardy was just so serious. Like, this man's dying and you worried about other people coming to attack you right now. It was funny. I laughed at that.
He's survivalist. It's him first.
Is it him first, Andrew?
I guess, because he never mentions that he has any family or anything like that. And he's always in it for himself and the money, it seems like.
No, he mentioned that his daddy found God and God was a Squirtle later on.
Please hold that off until the actual scene, because that's a fun scene.
Okay. So they pick up Leo, they take him, everybody's walking with him.
Did you
trying
have
to
a
get
problem with the over-villainization of these villains?
One villain per se, but you mean the other guys who just don't care?
Yeah, the way they said we might have to put Leo down, they didn't say it just like, man, if he doesn't have a chance of making it, we're probably going to have to put him down. They didn't say it normal like that. They said, if he don't got a chance of making it, we're going to have to put him down.
They put a smirk on their face after they said it?
They probably should have, the way they said it.
It's time to kill us, Leo.
Yeah, why did they say it like that? It was just a weird thing.
I don't know.
You think you would say it matter-of-factly because... Okay, sorry.
Anyways, they dragging him around for a few days. They scalp the bear, put the bear cover over him, fur over him. They're going up a little cliff. It's like, yo, we got to turn back around. It's too hard. General Hux is like, damn, we really can't carry this guy around. The General Hux pulls out his pistol and is like, I got to put him down.
Don't do it! Don't do it!
Hawk
My
was
dad!
like,
Don't shoot my dad!
No.
James is also begging, like, nah!
General Hux had a conscience. It was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. He was like, look, I need somebody to volunteer. Stay with him.
General, we have to leave him. We have to do this right now. We're not gonna make it back, General.
You're right. We can't carry him no more. I'm gonna need some people to stay with him. Hawk and James are gonna stay. It's like, need somebody else to stay. 3 men. I promise you some more money when I get back. Evil Tom Hardy says, yeah, I'll stay. Sorry, I did the Bane voice for him because I didn't know what his name is.
Leave Leonardo DiCaprio with me. You have nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. They should have made him put the Bane mask on for the rest of the movie.
I was wondering what would break first. Your Leo or your body?
They stay with Leo.
Now, the deal is that you have to stay with him for at least 3 days. If we don't come back for you in 3 days, then you give this man a proper burial and you get back to the fort. But I don't want you leaving a day after that, or else I will scold you something firm.
Day before.
And the deal is off.
Oh, sorry, I gotta get in there. Cop it. That's what he said. And
Raymond's so tired, and he sat back in his chair, like almost across the room from his mic, and he said something, and he was like, oh, I gotta speak over here.
Shoot. So they stay with him. Hawk and James are just so oblivious. I know they saw him digging a grave. He digs a grave. And they just was like, okay, we'll go off and hunt and fish and get water.
Yeah, Tom Hardy.
Why would y'all leave him with him alone?
Tom Hardy dug that grave. James, the We're the Millers guy, went off to the river to fill his little swirly branded cantina.
Wasn't swirly yet. He puts that on there. They have a conversation that him, James, and they all just sitting around for no reason. He draws that on there.
When did he draw that on there?
They were sitting down, because remember he turned around, he said, can you stop that, please? And he made him stop, and then he puts it down, and then you see him put the rock down with the...
I just thought he was just sharpening a knife. I didn't think he was doing it through the cantina then.
It was a cantina with the rock. But that happens in that part. Anyways, so he walks over to Leo's like, look, we ain't gonna survive out yet. Just let me put you down. Blink if you want to agree. Blink if you're going to agree. It's like...
Why am I the only one who laughed at that?
Obviously, this man has to blink.
Yeah, it's so awful.
You ready? Just blink. That's all you gotta do is blink.
Leonardo DiCaprio trying to keep his eyes open.
Takes a piece of cloth, stuff it in his mouth, cover his nose and his mouth with it, and then his son Hulk comes and hits him over
What
the
are you
head.
doing?
Stop. Then he grabs his son. He's like, we got a deal. We got a deal. He's like, no. And he's like, James, help! James, help! And then he pulls out a knife and just stabs Hulk. Choo, choo, choo. Like a good 37 times.
37 times.
Leo's like, remember, he's been stabbed in the neck, y'all, by a bear claw.
First, I thought Tom Hardy was going to just put Hawk in that grave. I thought that's what he did, but no, he just threw him off to the side somewhere.
Yeah. How come James didn't see it? Literally nobody saw it.
James ain't too bright, I guess.
Oh.
James comes back. Leo's like, he killed his son. He killed his son. It's like, what?
It's okay. Oh my God, he's burning up. Okay, we gotta get this guy out of here.
The next day,
Tom Hardy was like, oh, the reeds are coming.
I spotted 20 reeds down by the creek. We gotta get out of here.
He's like, no, we gotta leave him. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He left him the cantina with the circles on him.
Should we at least leave him his rifle?
Hell no, he gonna do that.
He at least deserves a burial. So, oh, you want to bury him? You want to bury him? You want to bring him along? Let's go. He starts dragging Leonardo DiCaprio across this wilderness to the grave
to
site.
the grave, throws dirt on him.
What do? You can just bury him alive.
Leaves him in the canteen and they go away. Then what?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about for?
I can't remember what happens. There probably was like a vision or something.
Leonardo DiCaprio probably had one of those visions where he sees his wife floating above him.
His wife,
there was
quote unquote.
Before, whenever his son was taking care of him the first night, before his son got killed by Tom Hardy, he had mentioned that, hang in there, Dad. Remember what Mom used to say about the trees. Whenever the wind blows, whenever a storm comes in, the trees look like they're about to fall. They billow back and forth very passionately in the wind, but they are only as strong as their roots hold them, and they will persevere. There will be stability. So he has this huge vision about storms and sees Hawk's mother floating above him. Lots of random images. The skull pyramid back at the tribe. A bunch of other beautiful stuff. He wakes up dramatically, starts crawling his way out towards the other side, sees a puddle of blood in the snow, realizes that's a drop of his son's blood. Then he starts crawling even further and further and further away. He gets to a nearby tree, looks over the root, and then he just freezes. And you just see his eyes just deaden. You see his dead body of his son on the other side of the tree.
He goes over to him, lays his head on him, says, I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go. Pretty much does the same thing Rose promises to him in Titanic, that he's never gonna let go. Then we cut to Tom Hardy and James having a conversation by a campfire, and James was like, you said it was 20 of them, not 12. He said 20, 12, what does it matter? Then James puts a gun at it. Was like, you lying to me? You lying to me? Then he was like, yeah, I lied to you anyways. Come on, it's time to go.
And then click.
He tried to shoot James, but James didn't load his gun. And James still walked around with this guy, and James didn't load his gun while he was walking with him and shoot him in the back. But whatever. Anyways, you cut back to Leo. Like I said, he made the promise he wasn't going to leave his son, but then he just has to leave his son.
Yeah.
He takes some moss, put it in his mouth, does like a sacred bless you kind of thing, and then he crawls his way
to a cliff that looks out on this huge river and mountains and forests.
Yeah, he gathers everything, crawls, gets the cantina, tries to drink some water. The water squirted out his neck because he got this big ass hole in his neck.
The Ponties, almost immediately afterwards, find Hawk, his son's dead body. It's like, oh, there's a dead boy over here.
Okay.
It's not my daughter. I don't care.
I thought he was going to join them because he speaks their language. So he was going to join them and then they was going to help him get revenge.
See, that would be the easiest solution, especially since they're not that far behind.
Yeah, I thought that's what was going to happen. They was going to help nurse him back to health. And he would join them. They would all get together and they would hunt down.
Maybe raid the fort or something?
Yeah, look for the daughter and look for, what's his name? But that didn't happen. So he's got a bullet, takes the gunpowder out the bullet, puts some on his neck, makes himself a fire, puts fire on the moss on a stick, makes a little torch, and then puts it on his neck. I knew it was coming. I was like, don't do it. And the lady next to me looked at me. I was like, whatever, bitch. That's gonna hurt. He did it.
It's like a firework went off.
It's gunpowder. Yeah.
And he fell backwards, and then there's just like a CGI bird sitting on the thing like, what an idiot. There was just a random CGI bird that looked at him.
You moron. Anyways, he passed out for a while. Then he woke back up. He actually sees the guys, the chief guy, again.
They have him cornered on the river, and he's trying to hide under some rocks.
Yeah, but instead of them talking to each other, like normal people would do. Well, I guess they savages and white man, they all got beef and whatnot.
But clearly he has some sort of, I mean, come on. What is his backstory? Why doesn't he try to yell out in their native language, especially since he speaks it?
I know, and he's already wounded. What they gonna do?
Yeah.
But anyways, they meet and see somebody that's wounded and start shooting arrows at him. I'd probably be like, oh, I gotta run too.
Man's unarmed in the middle of a river. So Leonardo DiCaprio just lets go and just lets himself float down the river. 3 times it drops. Goes down a couple waterfalls. He's okay.
Before that chief mentioned his daughter, I thought this movie was going to be about the realization that Native Americans were really savage or something like that. It just was randomly attacking people.
Oh, so this is like an
Anti-Native American.
Okay.
I thought it was, but then you mentioned his daughter. And I was like, oh, okay, that's why he's killing everybody for no reason.
Yep.
But I mean, what do you want? Information? I mean, you got this wounded guy. Won't you talk to him? He might know something before you start shooting arrows at him. But anyways, yeah, they shoot arrows at him.
If you're able to be in an alliance with the French, then can't you, I mean, is it that hostile between the French and the Americans that you can't ask the French, hey, can you talk to the Americans about maybe they have my daughter, instead of having us slaughter all the Americans for no reason?
No, there's no hostility. They eventually buy Louisiana from him. So, yeah, he barely escapes going down this waterfall shit. Again, surviving brutal ass shit. He's got a stick, pretends it's a rifle, tries to shoot some CGI moose with it.
Yeah, oh, frick. There's a CGI moose family, 3 of them cutting across the river. We linger on that.
Anyways, he's eating tree bark and all that good stuff.
He stacks some rocks in a U formation in a shallow part of the river, trapped some fish inside of it, so whenever he woke up, Leonardo DiCaprio could bite into what might have been a real fish and just chew its guts out on camera in one take.
I want to try that one day.
Oh, no.
Too, that's like,
I'm sure it's delicious.
Yeah, it looked delicious. Shit, I was getting hungry looking at this movie.
I guess there were other times that we also cut back to James and Tom Hardy traveling, as well as Captain Hux.
We cut to that one time, and that was it. And then we just found out that they made it back safely.
They got to the fort, man, you know, yeah.
They cut all that. Then they cut the rest of the shit.
Yeah. Whoa.
Anyways, after he bites the fish, he takes his walking stick. He's able to stand up on his 2 feet now. He walks up, sees a herd of buffalo just stampeding. Then he sees a pack of wolves attacking the buffalo.
CGI buffalo.
Yeah.
And CGI wolves attacking CGI buffalo. And I knew it was going to be that. Like, it lingered on Leonardo DiCaprio's face, and I'm hearing all these animal noises in the background. I'm like, please don't swing the camera around and show me more CGI animals in this movie. But they did. They did.
He started walking towards the wolves, like, I'm coming to help, guys. The wolves like, nah, bro, we don't need your help. And I did my hand, I did my hand gesture, and the lady next to me looked over at me.
You were doing a lot of hand gestures in this movie, like, what?
I did the hand gestures during the focus and when they moved out of frame.
No, you were doing hand gestures. Maybe you didn't even realize it because you were so tired, but you were doing a lot of hand gestures at various plot points.
Maybe I was.
What? I can't believe this.
All right, we'll get to that. All right, go ahead and tell the story. So anyways, we cut to...
Luckily, Leo was saved from these wolves by a cut to another scene.
Exactly.
So we didn't have to see him fight these wolves. Cut to another scene. Tom Hardy and James, We're the Miller's teenage boy, are sitting at a campfire at night.
I like how you describe him.
James is staring off into the fire, almost dead in his eyes. We shouldn't have left him, man. We shouldn't have left him. What would God think about that? And Tom Hardy's like, you know what you say about and my father, and he went out into the woods. He got injured. And in that moment, he saw God. And it was a squirrel.
I thought he said he was a squirtle. What?
And he master balled that son of a bitch.
Whoa.
He shot that squirrel. And then the camera just lingers on Tom Hardy, thinking about what he just said. And Raymond and I are the only people in the auditorium laughing.
Like, the camera hadn't panned yet. It just stays on top on his face. He's like, you got me? You know what I'm saying? He just had that face, that intense look, like, yeah, he ate it. Then it passed to James. James was like, just get me out this movie. Why me?
What the frick did I just hear?
What did I do?
A god squirrel eaten by your daddy? So that was funny. Then we come back to Leonardo DiCaprio. It's now nighttime. There's huge bonfires going on. Some Native American is hitting wolves with fire sticks and getting them to run away in the snow on the plains where all the buffalo were roaming.
I like that reference. Leo walks out to this guy, not knowing that this guy might be hostile. Well, the guy does point his arrow at him like, what the hell you doing over here, white boy? Don't come up to me like that.
This is my buffalo.
Leo is able to speak a little bit to him. He wants something to eat.
Leo did a full, put his hands behind his head, touching his head. And
He's like, don't shoot.
He hit the ground. He's crawling towards the guy.
He was like, give me some. The guy's eating the buffalo that the wolves killed. Straight eating the raw meat.
Even though he's got these huge fires going right next to him.
He's got like 3 of them. I thought like the Native Americans respected nature and stuff like that. And like this was the kills of the wolves, and the wolves deserved this kill because they was feasting. So why are you
that's
taking
like
this?
Avatar.
Why are you taking this from? Yeah, but it's like based off of.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It is a metaphor. This whole movie is a metaphor for they real savages. I'm not saying that. It's just what the movie's saying. Sorry, Native Americans.
All right. Native American guy throws Leonardo DiCaprio a bone. Not literally. He throws him a heart, still beating. Was it the heart? I could have sworn I heard a thumping noise and get pulsed in his hand for a bit.
I don't know what it was, but it was nasty.
Leo takes a good chunk out of it with his teeth, and then he... That tastes awful. Native American's like, what's wrong with you? Keeps eating his, and he's like, okay, I guess I'll eat mine too. Chows down on his. Next morning, hey, white boy, wake up.
He looks at his scar. He's like, hey, your flesh rotten.
Put some Neosporin on that.
He's like, somebody killed my boy. I need to go this way. Then he was like, yeah, my family died too.
Oh, yeah, we had that one scene.
Revenge is not mine. It's for God.
Yeah, we had that one scene Tom Hardy and James stumbled across. That Native American's village, completely ransacked. All the people were killed, presumably by the French.
Oh, that was his village?
I assume, yeah. Because
I
that
just
scene
thought it was
happened.
a random village.
Yeah, because that scene happened before.
He said his family was gone. Well, there was somebody left alive in that village.
There was one woman that James saw that Tom Hardy didn't see. He knew that if he said anything, that Tom Hardy was just going to murder this woman.
Or word her.
Ooh. And so he just left her a wrapped up piece of something on the ground, and she got to eat it. She was completely traumatized because everybody was dead, but at the same time, she was slightly relieved.
She was hungry.
Yeah.
What was the purpose of this scene in this movie?
To show that there was still light side in James.
James always had a light side. We already knew James' light side. He was upset that the dude tricked him.
I guess it was just supposed to be poetic, supposed to reinforce that even though James is going along with Tom Hardy's character, that he definitely knows what Tom Hardy's character really is like, and that he would murder this woman.
This scene should have been cut from the movie. Because it was completely unnecessary.
Besides setting up the
It's going along with the savage thing, because when Tom Hardy first comes, he's like, look at this. They always stealing our shit, and picks up a pocket watch.
It's like tiny beauty amongst human brutality a lot in this movie. Trying to appreciate nature and the little beautiful things. I'm too tired to understand
what you just said right now.
Well,
beautiful brutality?
Did
you say beautiful brutality?
That's what the movie seems to be. Beautiful brutality.
Okay, I'm going to have to...
Put that on the poster.
I'm going to have to...
Brutiful. It was brutiful in its totality.
Anyways, the Native American guy takes Leo with him. They get caught in a snowstorm. Leo falls off the horse. Like the carrots fall away.
There was a scene where they were catching snowflakes on their tongue just before that happened, and then he kept doing that on the horse. Leonardo DiCaprio was like, and then all of a sudden, clunks over on the floor.
Like, why are they making these sexual gestures? That's what I thought they was doing. There wasn't enough snow falling for that shit.
They were just recreating the whole, what's that?
That must have been what he was.
It kept cutting back and forth between the two of them. Like, one of them was sticking her tongue out. It was just
that would have been great.
That was the scene. That was what happened in the movie.
So he's walking Leo on a horse, and then Leo falls over the horse, and that's when I laugh. You laughed at that one, huh?
Yeah, I laughed at
you
that
didn't
one.
laugh at the first one though. Early in the film, whenever they carry Leo, two people start fighting. One of the guys who's carrying him drops his head in the river because they walking across the river. I laughed at that. Nobody else laughed at that.
I didn't laugh at that because it was off of the bottom left of the screen, and there was so much mountain and stuff, and I was like, I don't care about these humans. I was just watching nature.
I was staring at them, looking at this crazy shit unfolding. They drop Leo's head in the water. So this Native American guy decides to cocoon Leo in some trees.
The blizzard is really, really heavy, but this guy's still going at it, chopping down all these trees, making a custom hut for Leo.
And then puts his fur coat to cover it some more. And then Leo has a dream sequence, sees a broken up church.
It has a church bell constantly swinging back and forth, but it's not making any sound.
Yeah. Wow.
It's ominous.
That's stupid.
There's no roof. Like you said, the church is in ruins like Maz Kanata's castle.
That's why he went to Maz Kanata's castle. He opened up a thing, touched the lightsaber, and saw his son.
Spoilers.
And he just hugged his son, but then his son turned into a tree.
You laughed at that at the movie theater, sir.
It just cut to him hugging a tree. I was like, whoa.
And then it cuts back to him holding on to a piece of the stick that makes up the hut above him, knocks it out of the way, gets out of the hut.
He was naked, by the way. The guy took his clothes off.
Yeah, he can't
Wink,
find...
wink, nudge, nudge. You know what happened.
Ooh. They got to keep their bodies warm, like Matthew Broderick and...
What?
Like Matthew Broderick and... What's the guy's name?
What are you referencing?
Oh, Deck the Halls.
Oh, Danny DeVito?
Danny DeVito, yeah. I stripped you naked and put us both in these sleeping bags to keep your body temperature up. He's rubbing them.
Only reason I know that is because I remember the movie a long time ago, and I remember Danny DeVito had the two hot twin daughters. And that's all I can remember from that movie was the two hot twin daughters.
Who's your daddy? Oh, I'm your daddy. Ah.
I don't understand.
You don't know?
I told you I don't remember everything from that movie. Now I gotta look up the daughters.
No, you don't have to.
I'm doing it.
Nope.
You can't stop it.
Anyway, Leonardo DiCaprio is looking around for the Native American gentleman who
Like,
helped them.
where you at?
And then he just sees him hanging from a tree with a huge sign around his neck saying something in French about savages, like death to the savages. A bunch of French people came in. Leonardo DiCaprio stumbles across the French people, sees their encampment, sneaks up to them, trying to steal one of their horses. Then he notices that one of the French people pulls away a young female Native American woman. It's probably Powakwa.
Yeah, but he don't know that because he didn't talk to the chief.
Yeah, so this is not significant to him at all.
Yeah.
One of the French people starts raping Panakwa against a tree. Leonardo DiCaprio puts a gun to his head. It's like, take that thing out right now.
Oh, so help me. Take that thing out right now, or so help me.
It's a musical.
Yeah.
Take that thing out right now, or so help me. So help me.
So
He gives Powakwa a knife to put to the French guy's throat. It's like, make sure he doesn't talk. I'm going to get us a horse. He gets a horse, cuts all the other ones loose so they go running away to keep the French guys from following him. Jumps on one of the horses, goes riding off. Powakwa runs off in a different direction completely.
because the guys caught on to him. They was looking for the guy, and then they showed the guy Panakwa did cut his balls off.
Yeah, that was nice. Ugh.
That was nice.
Sarcastically.
But revenge belongs to God. Why did she do that?
That is true. She did not follow her own teachings. It's probably one of those American movie like, but F that. I'm going to cut your balls off.
Only
An Americanism, you know.
Yeah.
But we're not on my planet, are we?
Whoa.
Cuts Woody's balls off.
Yeah, Leo's running. He actually stops for a while and sits down, lays down by a tree. He's doing something, then an arrow flies at him and misses him. Arrow misses the main character.
Again, the guy's sitting still.
Yeah.
They're nailing everybody in the opening scene.
When everybody's moving around.
These Pawnee people are getting worse all the time. And they got rifles this time from the French.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're shooting rifles and arrows at him, and he's riding away on the horse. He shoots one of them one time, and oh my gosh, he nails that guy. He goes falling off his horse. They're all charging down the field, and you're looking at it facing them. Then all of a sudden,
Leo goes off a cliff and survives.
falls off a CGI cliff. His horse turns to a CGI horse, hits a CGI tree.
He CGIs his way down and lands safely, but the horse didn't, and the horse died.
Like, at this point, I thought the audience was going to turn on the movie. I don't know. I was turning on the movie.
According to the lady who left out at the end, it was really good, and she enjoyed this.
Oh, yeah.
She looked like one of them hippies. Not a hippie. Hipster, sorry.
I don't know.
It was a short-haired
There were a
girl.
lot of people who really enjoyed it. There were people who said, oh, man, that was really awesome, and stuff like that. Really brutal stuff. And there was this one guy who walked out, and he said, man, That guy, he did what he had to do, man. You gotta survive. Luckily, he knew how.
I saw that. That was the family of people who was wearing a camo in the city. Like, we was in the woods, they was wearing camo. They weren't even wearing good camo. They was wearing, like, the wood sticks, but they had a white background. It's all right to read about people in their camo.
You know, this is a movie for people who are survivalists.
Snow.
But don't mind CGI animals.
Anyways, they fall. He wakes up
At the bottom of the cliff.
Decides to cut open his horse. He's like, oh my God, I saw this on episode 5. Pulls out the guts of the horse. And then a lady
This is a little bit more graphic than the Empire Strikes Back.
Says, oh, there's like 3 ladies actually said. I heard it like 3 times. All ladies in the audience go, that's disgusting.
No, you gotta do it 3 times.
Disgusting. Ew, disgusting. Like, it was different versions of disgusting.
Yeah, huge, clumpy, bloody guts. Multiple sessions. He had to pull out multiple huge chunks of them.
I would have probably like take that, like dragged it a little further away, because what if like the wolf smell that? Anyways, he got inside the horse's body for the night. He took all his clothes off first because he didn't want his clothes to stink. That was smart of him.
Laid down completely naked inside of the horse's cavity. Had to break a couple of the ribs to open them up. Then we got a nice long shot, God's eye view, looking down, him inside, and then you see the CGI horse's broken head off.
I hope there's an outtake where he just reenacts the scene from Ace Ventura when nature calls.
Oh, look! It's a dead horse!
Leo does that. They need to release that scene. Leo just comes out the horse like that. Did they put no animals who harmed in making in this film?
I hope they did.
I don't think
Especially since most of them were CGI.
No, they could harm CGI animals. You think PETA will stand up for CGI animals?
No.
Why not?
CGI animals aren't animals.
But they got animals in the name, so it has to be an animal. All right.
The CGI PETA would stand up for the CGI animals.
All right, we got to get CGI PETA on this.
Yeah.
He gets out the body of the horse in the morning, and he walks away. Meanwhile, we cut to... Oh, we forgot to tell you that Tom Hardy takes his bandana off his head one time, and we learned that he was supposedly scalped by Indians.
Left side of his skull.
Wears a bandana to cover that part of his head.
Yeah, he was heavily scratching it earlier. For some reason, I just thought he had horrible case of lice. I was like, wow, an outdoor movie that addresses hair problems. Well, he still had a lot of hair on the right side and in the front that he combed back over it.
Anyway, James and crazy Tom Hardy made it back to the fort. They took money from General Hux because General Hux survived. We didn't see them make it there.
James didn't want to leave him, and that's what we didn't do. We did not leave him, sir. We had James fix a nice little cross, just like he wanted. Then we went about our way, and now we here, sir.
He made the deal with him, gave him extra money.
James, here's yours, too. You did mighty fine, Brigitte. James doesn't take the money and just walks out very upset. And then Tom Hardy says something. It cuts to General Henry, and then it cuts back, and James's money is missing from the table. It's like between cuts, Tom Hardy took James's half of the money off the table, like if he don't want it.
Long story short, Tom Hardy wanted to go back for the pelts that they hid early in the movie after the attack in the beginning. Dude was like, we gotta wait for reinforcements before we go back. Nobody's getting paid, and Tom Hardy was upset about that.
Well, by my calculations, you've already run through enough of our supplies. We're about 300 short because of you, so I think we're even.
They're like, hey, white guy's coming to the gate. It was one of the French. French guys tell him, yeah, I got attacked by the Indians, and then he pulls out the cantina with the spiral shape on it, and James recognizes, like, where'd you get that? I forgot to tell you that. Leo dropped it. He's like, yeah, it was over there. And it was like, oh my God, it might be Hulk. We got to go out and search for him. So they take a search party, they go out there at nighttime with torches. It's like, y'all could have waited till morning, but okay.
That looked pretty nice, though.
Sure, why not?
Dude, sure, why not? That was a cool visual to see a bunch of people with torches at night, actual lit fire roaming around through the forest. That was kind of cool. Especially that shot where they're at the bottom of the frame and you see all the glowing orange mist, shadowy figures going around. That was a nice shot. Nice visual.
So they walk, then they look, and out of the shadows comes Leo DiCaprio. Woo! They found him. He's like, where is he? General Hux goes back, mad as hell. Like, where's Tom Hardy? Tom Hardy. Oh, Fitzgerald was his name. Because I remember this scene. He's like, where's Fitzgerald?
Leonardo DiCaprio was carving that Fitzgerald into a lot of stuff throughout the movie. Fitzgerald killed my son.
He's looking for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald ran off, broke into the safe, stole more money.
He gave James a very good scolding. Like, he was whooping up on James for lying. You lied to me! You lied to me!
No, Daddy, no!
You're gonna rot in a cell for high treason.
A stormtrooper yells, traitor at him as he walking by.
So they get into a huge battle.
Yeah. You spin me right around. I'm sorry.
But Leo in the bathtub told General Hux, no, man, James cool, man. He didn't know. He didn't see Tom Hardy stab Hawk, my son.
Was he in the bathtub or just sitting down? I think he was sitting down.
Well, he was naked and they were bathing him.
They was putting ointment on him.
Okay, I assumed he was in like a little bin or something with water.
He should have been because he was stanky.
What'd you say?
He should have been because he was stanky.
Oh, okay. What are you rolling your eyes for? The mic is the mic. I didn't invent the mic. Man wants headsets.
You want me to finish? Okay. Long story short, he was like, yeah, let's make a deal. I can't let you go back out there. I want to go get him. No, we can't let you go back out there. I want to go get him. Fine, I'll let you go. He took everything from me. He's scared of me. I got him cornered. I know I can get him. Okay. So anyways, they go out.
Was General Hux really planning to go and do this by himself?
No, I thought they was actually going to take like a team of people to go hunt him down. But apparently just these two went out and did it.
So after Leonardo DiCaprio decided, I'm going to go with you, they decided, we don't need everybody else?
Cancel the team. We don't need everybody else. Just us two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the duo thing just makes me think that he was going to do this by himself.
Maybe. Okay, let's just explain the rest of the movie because I can't defend either. I don't know what was happening there, Drew. I don't.
All right, they're tracking Tom Hardy. Leonardo DiCaprio leaves General Hux alone so General Hux can get killed by Tom Hardy. They have a little...
He says, I'm going to go follow over here. You go look over there. So anyways, Tom Hardy pops out from behind a rock.
That was pivotal information.
What?
Like I say, if they got separated for no reason, he was like, well, they got separated because he said, you look over here, you look over there. Yeah, no reason. No reason.
And you say, meet back here in,
Why?
in 0.4 hours or something like that.
Okay.
Tom Hardy, Fitzgerald jumped out from behind a rock. It was like, hey, what you doing? Or whatever. So he was like... He's like, I come to get you. They're going to take you to jail. And he was like, I can't let you do that, Star Fox. Bam, bam. Leo heard it.
Don't know who shot who.
Runs over with his horse, sees General Hux on the ground, and he's been scalped.
Oh my gosh.
So we supposed to believe that Tom Hardy just been a crazy person this whole time and scalped his own self?
Either Tom Hardy is crazy, or he thought Leonardo DiCaprio would be dumb enough to think that he didn't do it, that the Indians who recently got rifles from the French shot him and then scalped him.
But he wouldn't know that either unless he watched the movie.
And did they know? The
No.
French had the...
No, nobody knew that those Indians had the gun except for Leo, because Leo got shot at by him.
Really, he didn't know. That seems like a pivotal thing, because he's just banking on the fact that he could scalp General Hux and that they'll think it's an Indian.
I assume that he did this to General Hux, and this was his thing, was scalping people. And he scalped himself. He was just a psychopath this whole time.
Okay.
He really was a psychopath, and he scalped his own self, and he scalps other people after he kills them.
Scalped his own self?
Yeah, that's why I assume that he...
Just for the story?
Well, I thought that
His dad didn't really shoot a squirrel?
Yeah. He's just a nut job. He's crazy.
He's a nut job.
Oh, God. So he scalped himself and tells everybody that Indians did it to him. That's why I assume what's happening, because then he just scalps General Hux for no reason.
Well, I assumed he was a psychopath villain from the beginning of the movie.
I assumed he was just an asshole until this part.
Whoa.
Well, until he ran away. In the beginning, I assumed he was an asshole. Then he killed everybody.
I don't know. Eventually, Leonardo DiCaprio tracks him down. They get into a gunfight in the middle of the woods.
Leo, you gotta tell what Leo does. Leo gets a stick branch and props up General Hux's body on a horse.
Oh my gosh.
And
I forgot because it was so stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
What happened? Tell me, sir. What happened?
He cuts off a random stick. It's like, oh, this'll do.
Like, I thought he was getting ready to build himself like a fort or something.
Because he had two horses, and he had General Hux over the front horse, and he was tugging that along, and he was riding on the back horse. He would have to know that Tom Hardy is going to come after him. How long was he going like this with the setup? With General Hux's dead body propped up like it's him, and him lying down on the back horse like he's the dead body? How long was he doing that?
I assumed he was going to walk in a straight line. I guess he was assuming that Tom Hardy was going to be looking for him and that there was only one direction for him to go. So that's why he propped it up like that and just, okay, go in this direction. I don't know, Andrew. I know what you're trying to say, but I just assumed that that's what it was.
This is such a far-fetched plan.
It was like what if Tom Hardy just actually ran away?
Yeah. He just
gonna be sitting there for a few hours.
Yeah, with the dead body driving it with a stick up his butt.
I don't know.
I don't know how he positioned the stick to keep that thing on. You think it would slowly start leaning over on the saddle or on the horse, and then eventually it would be strapped on below the horse, and so you just got this rider riding the horse below the horse, this dead body riding underneath the horse.
I don't know how it worked out,
with
but
his head
he did
scraping the ground.
Anyways, Tom Hardy shoots at the dead body, or he
Raymond,
shoots at the body on the horse.
This is another thing that was so stupid.
Whatever.
You got the horse far off in the distance, below him on the left side of the screen. The rifle comes in from the left side of the screen with the barrel of the gun pointing towards the right side of the screen. And he fires, and he hits him. The barrel of the gun is facing the right side of the screen, and his target's far down below on the far left side of the screen. And he hits him.
It was far down below, but I don't think it was that far left. Was it that far left?
It was that far left.
I guess it was just a cinematic quote unquote
F up.
No.
I'm sorry.
Angle. It's a cinematic angle, sir. It's one of those artsy angles.
It didn't line up at all. It was the most embarrassing shot I've seen in a movie in a long time.
Ooh, damn, that's a shot fired right there.
It's just, come on. He's like pointing at the right middle section of the screen. Horse is all the way on the left middle section of the screen.
What you was saying
It doesn't he curved his bullet like he was in wanted.
Horse was right there.
The horse was right
there. His
there.
gun was like right facing like this.
That's how it happened. And then he fired.
And
And that's what happened. Why am I the only person who saw that?
I thought it was like an artistic thing he did with the camera work. I didn't know that. I just let it slide because this dude was doing all kind of dumb shit with this camera.
You thought it might have been a lens that was distorting the image or something, or
we'll talk about this general discussion. He had some other dumb shit going on with the camera in this movie too. But I just thought, okay, this is some more dumb shit that's happening.
The guy shot off completely the wrong way. And then he hit the horse. Frick.
I don't know. Anyways, he walks over to the horse, the dead body, moves it out. The dead body had his face covered somehow. Turns out it was Scalp Guy. Then Leo decides to reveal himself laying down on the other horse and shoot him. Like, I thought Leo would have jumped a little bit earlier whenever he had his head down and the gun was down.
Yeah. But then you wouldn't have a climax.
He waited for him to look back up. So he shot him in the arm. He runs.
In snowy forest, Tom Hardy yells, "We're alone now. Solo can't help you anymore."
That hatchet belongs to me. He told him, we had a deal. We had a deal. Your boy got in the way. I tried to tell him we had a deal. You killed my boy. Tries to run at him with the hatchet, flips him. Then they have another exchange of conversation, and then they start fighting for real.
Yeah, there's a brutal battle next to a small little creek with the sun slowly coming in over the snowy canyon.
He's hatcheted him. He cuts off his finger, cuts off his this,
audience
that.
is really reacting to this like, ooh.
This audience was so stupid.
That's a very mean thing to say.
We had a dumbass audience. I'm sorry.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with this
they were just really
audience?
into the movie.
Well, I'm
not going to call them names because they liked the movie.
They accepted the fact that the dude shot off screen and hit a horse that was on the other end of the screen.
It's just above their heads. They were just so into the movie that they didn't care.
Andrew's defending these people.
Dumb stuff can happen in a movie that you really like and you don't mind because you really like the movie.
Cool, I'll accept that.
I enjoyed a lot of pieces of this movie, but that was still really stupid.
I'll accept that answer.
Okay.
So anyways, they fighting. Eventually, Leo stabs him. Then Leo's getting ready to kill him. But the Indians who've been running around killing everybody for the past few hours in this movie.
They're on the other side of the creek.
Decided not to shoot first this time and just decided to look at these two white guys. Tom Hardy goes, "You go ahead and kill me. Ain't gonna bring your boy back."
Tom Hardy was saying horrible things in this life and death situation.
Yeah, he said, "You killed my boy." He's like, "You should have raised a man instead of a punk ass pussy bitch," or something like that.
Like, what are you doing, Tom Hardy? This is the moment of reckoning. You're not going to try to apologize at all?
He's the villain, Andrew.
He's
you
just
can't
taking
go out
it
like a punk.
Taking it to the grave. And we're gonna rock, and we're gonna roll.
So Leo decides for some reason to hear what that one Indian told him long ago. Revenge does not belong to me, it belongs to God. And he pushes Tom Hardy in the river. The river drags him down towards the Indians. The Indian chief grabs him and kills him himself.
But so the Indian chief
So
violated
the savage Indians are God now? Anyways, they walk past him. He got his daughter back. So that's why they didn't shoot first, because he had his daughter back.
Pamakwa goes riding by on the horse, gives him a smile like,
They would just get a close-up
now
of
we're
Leo
even or whatever.
crying. And that's it. And the movie.
Well, he climbed all the way back to a certain spot. And I thought he was going back to look for his son's body again or something. Like, he was just climbing to a random place and instead just sees a vision of what we assume is his Native American wife.
You think he hit that or not? No, probably not.
I was assuming that Hawk was his actual
That dude
son.
was a full-blown Indian. That was not his actual son.
He just takes after his mother. I don't know.
That was a full-blown Indian.
I mean, we're in a movie where people fire guns in different directions and hit things.
Oh!
And CGI horses fall off a cliff and they take all the damage for you.
CGI bear cubs, CGI wolf, CGI moose. Every animal in this movie was CGI pretty much.
Very curious note to end it on. He sees a vision of his dead Native American woman pen pal. We get a close-up of his face, looking very emotional. And then he looks and stares directly at the audience into the camera. And he says, "What the F have you done lately?" There's
also some backstory about
you
somebody asked him,
heard the
did you really
news?
kill a general? Apparently he killed a general that looked like Tom Hardy that was trying to kill his son. You remember they showed that guy? The close-up of the guy looked like Tom Hardy.
Close-up of a guy?
In his flashback vision, he's inside a hut. One of the soldiers comes in, looks like Tom Hardy. You remember that?
Nope.
Okay, maybe I imagined that.
I don't know.
Sleeping. Or maybe I didn't. But he has another vision.
I don't know. He had a big hat on.
And somebody
It was
asked him at one point, he's
couldn't
like, did you really kill a general? Something like that.
No, I remember that scene. That was General Hux whenever the duo was on the hunt for Tom Hardy at the end.
Yeah, you asked him, did you really kill him? That's when he had the flash vision again.
I didn't kill a general. I killed somebody who was trying to kill my son.
What was the purpose of this?
I don't know. They just randomly gave him some backstory at the end for no reason.
It had nothing to relate to except for his son.
But they
It was
don't.
his
They
son's
didn't,
backstory.
yeah, they didn't give us the backstory that we really wanted. They gave us
A
just
whole
a
movie.
random backstory that doesn't relate to
Whole
anything.
backstory movie that could be brought out here, where he actually took revenge on somebody for killing his wife, and now he learns not to have revenge anymore or something. I don't know.
But why does he not want revenge?
Yeah, why did he let him go? I thought you should just kill him.
Revenge completely fueled this
This
man.
is a whole movie.
Yeah.
That's what this whole movie was about.
It's the only thing you wanted was revenge, and then after somebody else did it for you, then you just decided to go up on a mountaintop and die?
And cry. I don't like that he didn't kill Tom Hardy. It's like, wait, what? Because somebody told you earlier that revenge belongs to God, now you just not gonna do it? I don't know. So we're in general discussions now, I guess. Tell us what you think, because you got a lot to say about this.
Oh.
I don't know, it seemed like you did. You go ahead, homie.
Do
you?
Okay. I gotta try to be fair. I'm pretty tired, so obviously there's some bias in my opinion on this one because it's a very long movie, very casually paced, slow to the layman. There's a lot to enjoy in this movie. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. You get to linger on, enjoy, take in the sounds and the sights of Alberta, Canada, in some national park preserve. A lot of beautiful snowy forestscapes, sun peeking through the trees, glistening off the snow, huge valleys and rivers and mountaintops. Wonderful location scouting in the movie. Unique cinematography, long continuous takes that the director chose to do were impressive. There was a lot of impressive choreography with all the arrows, gunfire, all the background extras, all the coordination you'd have to do the majority of that in one shot and then hide the cuts and do another huge take like that so many times in the movie. Like whenever Leonardo DiCaprio goes in the river, fishes out a fish. I don't know if that was a real fish or not. If it was, I guess kudos to him. Maybe that's why they didn't get the no animals were harmed in the making of this movie, because he literally took a fish out of the pond and just started goring it with his teeth.
According to most people, fish aren't real animals.
Can't hear you.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. The actual acting is a mixed bag. At first, like I said, I did laugh whenever I saw Leonardo DiCaprio in the woods, but about the time that he was trying to crawl his way out of his own grave, the way he was grunting and emoting and struggling, really liked his performance in that part, and I felt he kept it up pretty well for the rest of the movie after that. Whenever it was just him trying to survive, I was into the movie, but I felt the other side characters were kind of campy. James and Tom Hardy, I wasn't expecting them to be in this movie based on what I saw from the trailers. I thought it was just going to be Leonardo DiCaprio trying to survive. But they just put in this generic villain from Tom Hardy. It felt campy and funny, and it didn't feel like that was supposed to be what it was supposed to be. I mean, Tom Hardy, he went full into this part, and with that accent and everything, and he was doing a great job with the accent and his expressions in his eyes, and I guess Tom Hardy put on a great performance, but it's kind of clashing with everybody else in the movie, and so it comes off as kind of amusing and funny the way he's acting, especially because he seems like too obvious a villain in this movie. Obviously, he's going to turn, instead of him having a backstory. I mean, he did have a backstory about running in with the Indians and what they did to his scalp and everything. That was supposed to, I guess, feed into his concerns. But maybe a bit deeper backstory about how he feels about the Native Americans or something. I guess that was reason enough, really. I don't know. I just didn't know why he was so mental. Maybe it was because he was scalped. I don't know. Oh, man. I didn't expect the movie to be a cutting back and forth. I thought maybe after James and Tom Hardy's character left Leonardo DiCaprio, I thought we might stick with him for the rest of the movie and it would be a huge survival movie until we got back. And every time it cut to something else, I was kind of distracted. But whenever I was with Leonardo DiCaprio's character, I was more in the moment, and I felt Leonardo DiCaprio's struggle, which is a huge credit to this movie, I felt like at the end of this movie that I had been on a huge endurance test. And not in the haha funny that it's too long kind of way, but like, man, there was a lot of brutal stuff that I just went through with this character and all the stuff that I had to witness him going through and enduring. But it did cut back to the other people. You had this whole subplot with the Indians trying to find their lost chief's daughter to make them more sympathetic. But at the same time, they could have been more sympathetic if they had just spotted Leonardo DiCaprio at the beginning and taken him in as a wounded person. But then it would have turned into a Last Samurai with Tom Cruise situation, I guess, where they train him up and they all go attack the fort to get the daughter back or something, and him to get his revenge on Tom Hardy. It would have been The Last Samurai, and they didn't want to make The Last Samurai. They wanted to make this movie. So they wanted you to feel for the Native Americans, but also still feel for the Americans. The only people you're supposed to hate, I guess, are the French in this movie. The French got a bad rap, I guess. Slaughtered, and they're only interested in money and results, and they use the Native Americans to get those results and to take out the Americans who are taking their pelts. Yeah, like I said earlier, it seems like a huge poem of a movie. Just a huge beauty and brutality juxtaposed against each other, like the beauty of nature, quietness and the sound juxtaposed with rage and violence, harshness of reality, the real reality of this beautiful place, of being stuck out here and what you have to do to survive, versus the pretty postcards that most people see. So overall, I enjoyed the cinematography, warmed up to Leonardo DiCaprio's performance. I went on that journey with him. I enjoyed the struggle, the beauty and the quietness of those parts, but cutting back to the other characters, a little bit off in their performances compared to Leonardo DiCaprio and what was going on with him. The Native American subplot was just weird. His decision to not take revenge at the end was weird. For a movie that was stretched out for 2.5 hours, it was really cliché. And you knew exactly what was going to happen. You just had to wait 2.5 hours and see the tiny details along the way about him catching fish, him hiding in the river, him going over a waterfall, him seeing CGI buffalo and CGI creatures and shooting them with sticks. This movie is all about the little details with not a rich plot, some corny stuff in between, some very sketchy CGI creatures, but at the same time, I guess you can't do it any other way, especially with that impressive choreography of the bear attack with him being thrown around. Obviously, you couldn't have done that with one shot with an animatronic bear. I guess you needed a CGI bear to do all the choreography, and same for a lot of the other stuff. It's equal parts beautiful, corny, way too long, cliche. It's a mixed bag for me on the whole. A lot of people will probably enjoy this movie, but it's very, very brutal, very, very long. Not sure if I really want to see it again. And those are my thoughts.
Let me tell you something about this movie. I like the way Andrew put all that out there.
Okay.
This movie was long. Like Andrew said, it's not an original plot at all. You've seen this plot and these themes of this movie handled a whole lot better
Yes, especially the whole I'm having no, come back. I'm just saying one real thing real quick. I forgot to mention, especially the whole I'm having dreams about my dead relatives and they're telling me things that are going to be important on my quest and stuff, helping me along. Okay.
It's just these themes. We've seen them before, the revenge theme and a not get revenge theme, and the whole Vision's backstory just doesn't make any sense because we don't know anything about the lady in the backstory. We just know there was the mother of his son. I don't know, it's weird. I'm not too upset about the CGI animals. It's okay to me, but
it seems more distracting because of all the real environments and all the practical stuff they're doing. That's why it really stood out to me, because it's such a gritty movie with gore and realism and harshness, and then you just got this CGI moose walking by.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I really don't like about this movie is, I don't know, the director, he tries this art style or the cinematography, and then they do this thing where the camera will go up close to somebody's face and they'll breathe on the camera lens. And that was distracting for me. That just pulled me out the movie. I was like, this is stupid. I don't mind the raindrops on the camera lens or the snow falling on the camera lens, but that was just ridiculous. And in the final battle, there's the blood on the camera lens. And I was like, why? This is stupid. You're taking me out the movie. Besides that, I really hope this isn't the one that Leo wins an Oscar for, because this is not a good movie in my opinion. A lot of the stuff in it is handled a lot better in other films. I'll give this 2 stars, man, because I can't get behind this. I think this was an average performance for Leo. He's performed better in his past films. I'm sorely kind of disappointed in this. I think I'm more disappointed in the plot of this movie. It seems like a bunch of randomness happening at times, and it started off so promising with that attack, and these guys are gonna be in the woods and all that, and Leo was gonna have to survive and go take revenge on Tom Hardy, but then they make it back to the camp, and it was like, okay, now Leo gets found by them randomly, magically. The French had the daughter the whole time. It was like, well, I really didn't care about that subplot at all. He didn't make me care.
There was just that one scene where he was talking about honor to the French people.
He's talking about honor, but he's immediately going around shooting everything.
Yeah, not trying to negotiate with the Americans at all.
Yeah, this was just terrible. I'll give it 2 stars, and that's all I got to say about it.
Especially if Leo really did have a relationship with their tribe at one point. If he knew that Leo was in there, he could have tried to negotiate with Leo, with the Americans. Like, hey, do you know where our daughter is? No. Oh, okay. They were really just desperate for those pelts so they could reimburse the French people for more supplies to go looking for the daughter, to raid more camps and kill more people.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of the economy of violence in this movie, I guess.
I don't know what else to say. It's not a good movie.
Thinly drawn side characters with no backstories.
Everything's very blah.
My dad shot a squirrel is Tom Hardy's backstory in this movie. Oh, he got scalped by some Indians and his dad shot a squirrel.
Well, now that I believe that he was scalping, I think he's just a lying, crazy psychopath, and I think his character is probably my favorite character of all these characters, followed by General Hux, and then Leo, and then James. I don't know what Hulk doing. I didn't care about Hulk at all.
I kind of cared a little bit about General Hux because everybody was against the man because he got in there because of privilege, because of his doctor dad or something. You can kind of get behind this guy. He's trying to prove himself to his regiment. Leonardo DiCaprio had a son, and that son was killed. Something about a tribe with the pyramid skulls, and that's it. And some maybe wife. Who knows? But you're supposed to care about him because he's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, I guess that's what they was going for. Or the director was just terrible. Or the writer was just lazy.
I would like to blame the writer because of how fancy the direction of the movie was.
All right. Your one-take stuff, okay, that's nice and fancy and all. I think in the beginning you did. You made a one-take, then you cut, and then cut back and pretended like you didn't cut. I don't think I like that very much. I guess we could blame the writer. I guess I won't blame it all on this guy.
Or maybe it's based on a book. Maybe the book is amazing. I don't know. Maybe they cut out a lot of backstory. Who knows? Raymond just wants to get out of here. He's surfing the web on his phone right now. What's going on the phone, sir?
Just texting. I have no clue what else to say about this film. It seems like something that some art hipster student would like. Just ain't got no meat to it, nothing. It's just blah. Just blah. I'm sure this will get high praise though, or whatever. The performances. You've seen this plot before in plenty of films.
The movie just kept going and going though.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, I was like, really? Another wrinkle? Like, I saw the avalanche in the distance. So I was like, are we about to have a huge avalanche sequence?
He's about to have to survive the avalanche and then go fight and kill Time Hardy later.
I was like, oh my gosh, please tell me this is the end of the movie. No avalanche. We're just lingering on this random avalanche. The avalanche could have been cut. There was no reason to have the avalanche. The avalanche is just some sort of fancy metaphor. It's just a metaphor for something falling apart internally or something.
This movie dumb.
It's just, oh, look, here's another 50-second metaphor. Look at the metaphor and talk about the metaphor. It's ambiguous. We're not going to tell you what Leonardo DiCaprio's actual backstory is because then it'll leave some mystery, something for you to talk about after the movie's over. It'll be dissected in film schools and stuff like that. What does this vision mean? Now, what does the pile of skulls on the pyramid represent? What does this represent? Do you think he's a biological father? All these questions. Isn't it great to have this many questions at the end of the movie?
No.
Not if the questions are pivotal to you caring in the first place.
Exactly. This is bullshit is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm more of a mixed bag on it. I see all these things that I say bad about it, but there is some beauty in it, impressive technical stuff and performance-wise stuff that you can see if you go see this movie. And Raymond, your little roundup?
Round up. I'm not rounding anything up in this movie. This movie just need to stay on a low level. I'm sure it's going to be praised by critics and whatnot. I don't understand why they like shit like this, where it just doesn't entertain at all. It tries to. The characters try to, but the plot doesn't. It makes me so mad. Because let's compare this to this one that people like to attack a lot. Oh, like Avatar. It was like, oh, that's just remake of Pocahontas. I wonder if they'll say this was a remake of something else of all the other revenge movies out there.
Whenever he was... I got delirious in the middle of this movie, sir, and I was... At the beginning of this movie, I started getting delirious. I was like, this is just I Spit on Your Grave.
Yeah.
This is just a colonial times I Spit on Your Grave movie.
It really is.
They're just going to completely pummel Leonardo DiCaprio.
Except they just kept doing these fancy camera work things and stretching the movie as long as they possibly could.
So that's what it is right there, sir. It's a fancy, Oscar-worthy
No, it ain't.
version of I Spit on Your Grave.
No, it ain't. And this one better not be the one Leo getting an Oscar for. So I'm very disappointed in him for this performance. Should got one for, what was the last one?
Wolf of Wall Street?
Wolf of Wall Street. Should got one for that. And one for Django. I really enjoyed him in Django and Wolf of Wall Street. And all the rest of his other films, except for this one. Even Titanic. I felt like he did better in Titanic than this shit.
Whoa. Even Titanic. That hurts, sir, because Titanic's good.
I don't know about all that. That shit runs too long, too. It's a story about a boat sinking, but we gotta throw some love in it. Ooh, you breaking shit. That's it for me. 2 stars. Started the year so promising, Hollywood. I was excited about this one. This is what you give me.
Well, I'm sure we're probably going to be in the minority of people who don't like the movie. For our
Yeah, we're going to be in a minority, no doubt about it. This movie's going to get so much praise for no reason, just because it's fancy. It's art.
And I'm the one
it ain't.
I'm the one on the podcast who will say it's not for no reason at all, but I'm still split down the middle, and I see there's a lot of bad in this movie, and there's a lot of good in this movie. I'm right down the middle.
I'm split down to this is bullshit.
Well, that sounds like a very fun, honest note to end it on right there, sir.
If you like films, this is a bullshit film. I'm telling you.
For the parking lot projectionist.
And I am tired, and I'm just letting you know. This is bullshit. Go ahead, end it. I'm sorry. I just want to get those last words in.
You want to throw some more language at people about this movie?
Stupid.
Well, for the parking lot projectionists, I'm Andrew.
I'm a very angry Raymond.
Shutting it down.